Alright you guys, it is Devin the Realtor here on the beautiful island of Maui. So what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is that the updates for traveling to Hawaii.
The deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know. A Washington state resident fell ill after returning from Wuhan, China, where the outbreak began. Officials now say more than 400 people have been sickened and 9 people have died.
Saying Americans will need to learn to live with the virus, this morning authorities believe our nation is transitioning from pandemic to endemic. Holding their first briefing together in person in more than a year, the White House COVID Task Force is outlining a new 96-page plan to move forward.
If you look at the practicality of where we are clearly going in the right
David
direction.
Ige today announced the end of Hawaii's safe travel program and several other COVID-related mandates when the current emergency proclamation ends starting March 26th. It's one of the most significant steps in returning Hawaii to normal since the pandemic began 2 years ago.
So basically, as you guys know, COVID has been very impactful on the whole world in general, right? So with that being said, you guys, and all the impact that has happened in the world and also in Hawaii. So what I'm going to talk about today, you guys, is COVID and the journey that we are on and that we are still on and that we are hopefully exiting out of. So pretty much I'm just going to jump right into it and give you like a timeline of all the things that have happened. So pretty much January 9th, 2020, the WHO, the World Health Organization, they actually announced that COVID is like pneumonia. It was a pneumonia-based flu that was discovered in Wuhan in China. So if we fast forward a little bit to January 20th, 2020, CDC announces that they will start screening for the coronavirus due to 3 additional cases of corona reported in Thailand and Japan. So this is actually when the airports really decided to start testing and screening for the COVID virus. And at least at the major airports, they started testing, right? This is actually when COVID really interrupted the travel industry, in my personal opinion. So fast forward one more day. So one day after that, on January 21st, Chinese scientists actually had confirmed that the coronavirus has killed 4 people and infected more than 200 people in China. So on January 31st, WHO, the World Health Organization again, also issued a global health emergency that erupted the world and allowed everyone to see that COVID was a real thing. I'm sure as you guys experienced and as I personally experienced as well in my family and in my life, and a lot of the things that happened and that took place in my life in general. So I'm sure you guys got to experience what COVID was like and how it interrupted your lifestyle and what it was that you were doing in your life in that current time. So January 31st was a big day for everybody. Everybody realized that it was a real thing and that it was here to stay, unfortunately. So fast forward to February 2nd was actually when the global air travel became restricted and the implementation of a 2-week self-quarantine after flying to help prevent the pandemic. So this is also when things started getting more strict for air travel and flights in general around the world, really. This is really when it started to affect people in the US. So basically on February 3rd, the US actually declared a public health emergency. So you guys can see here why the Trump administration had administered a public health emergency nationwide. So also in February 10th, you guys, there were about 908 reported deaths in China from the coronavirus as well. And March 6th was probably one of those days that a lot of people weren't expecting, especially if you're on vacation, but it turns out that 21 passengers on a California sailboat, they actually tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. And this company actually ended up getting sued because of the negligence that was filed against them because of these workers actually getting sick and getting other people sick as well. So on March 11th, this is when WHO comes back into play. So the World Health Organization has announced and declared COVID-19 as a pandemic, and it just pretty much sparked a fire. Everybody became scared. So March 11th is when the WHO actually declared COVID-19 to be a worldwide pandemic. So on March 13th, Donald Trump and the Trump administration declares COVID-19 as a national emergency. So on May 28th in the US, COVID-19 had surpassed 100,000 deaths at this point. By July 7th, there are over 3 million infections in the US. So being a fully vaccinated US citizen, you must provide proof of vaccination and a negative COVID-19 test result within 1 day of boarding a flight to Hawaii or if you are not vaccinated, a negative COVID-19 test result within 1 day of boarding a flight to Hawaii. So my experience when I actually traveled back home to California for Christmas was actually a hell of a journey. So what I had to do is I had to go through safetravelshawaii.com. I would have to go into their website, find a preferred and approved pharmacist or test center that you can go to get an actual test that would allow you to come over to the islands. And I had to take the test. I had to take another COVID test once again. Because as you guys know, taking that test is not one of the fun things to do. You are practically violating your nose. And then you have to wait for your results to come back within a timely manner to even see if you're able to come back to Hawaii. Now this all of course can be avoided if I was vaccinated, but that is not the route that I decided to go personally, in my opinion. So this is what I had to do. Now, if you are vaccinated, it is fairly simple to actually go ahead and come back to the islands or even travel to the islands. It's just a matter of actually uploading the information of your vaccination card onto the platform, and then after you get off the plane, you go ahead and get approved and have them sign off and confirm that you are vaccinated. Or you can get a trusty wristband, which actually helps you skip the line as soon as you get off the plane and go straight to baggage claim. Things are changing and lighting up for those who live on Maui and for those who are looking to come to Hawaii in general as well. Okay, so basically to sum this whole thing up in this whole video here is COVID has all been difficult on all of us, and we have all had our ups and downs. So some of us actually view it as the best thing that ever happened to us, and some of us actually view it as the worst thing that actually happened to us. So whether you're a cup half full type of person or you're a cup half empty type of person, I want you to sincerely take a moment and ponder on all the bad that has happened to you in the midst of this pandemic, acknowledge it, and realize, yes, this is real and bad things have happened in the process. Now what I want you guys to do is move on from the bad and focus on the good things that have happened during COVID and ponder on that, please. So life is absolutely too short to be pondering on all the bad things that are going on in life. So let's focus on the good and figure out what we can be thankful for. As I wrap up this video for you guys, I want you to put down in the comments 3 things that have happened to you in your life that have been positive. My goal is to actually change how people are looking at COVID. Because after every single person who's watched this video, they can take away 3 things that other people are grateful for. So hopefully the whole comment section will be things of gratitude and not things of hate and disgust and just negativity in the comments. So I want to see you guys happy and filled with joy after watching every single one of my videos. Alright guys, so when you watch my content and browse my channel, I want you to leave the browser feeling refreshed and revitalized and having a new perspective on things every time you watch my content or leave my social media accounts. So with that being said, you guys, that is a quick update on COVID and the things that have happened and just a little bit of background on what I've been going through during COVID. With that being said, you guys, it is Devin the Realtor here on the beautiful island of Maui. God bless and aloha.